Hi everyone. I want to start with everybody imagine a beautiful, vast cathedral where every window is made up of different colored glass. These stained glass windows are just like how our world is shaped by perception and the dynamic definition of the truth. Everybody stands behind a different pane. One person may look through a rose-tinted section and see a world filled with warmth and glimmers of hope, while another stands behind a dark, clouded pane that only reveals sorrow. However, the ultimate truth is the sun, which shines equally on the building, but the light that reaches the floor may be filtered, bent, and colored by the glass it passes through. No one sees the pure white light, only the version their window allows. Winston Churchill once said, "History is written by the victors." On a personal level, whether these victors are your parents, your boss, or your friends, they are the architects who design the cathedral and choose which pane you stand behind. While your view of the world still exists, it may never reach the floor, making your truth hidden to everyone else in the room. Not even the strongest person you know can sustain a life like this, a life without true joy. When you allow yourself to be caught in these patterns, your potential is stifled and your passions can be forgotten. To push beyond the limits placed on us by others, you must be confident in who you are, flaws and all, accepting that you were never meant to be perfect. Having faith in yourself and holding your beliefs with conviction can be one of the most difficult feats in life. When I was younger, I felt the only way I would be accepted or liked was to reveal parts of myself to others I thought they wanted to see. I was never who I wanted to be. I was a version of myself because of a misguided belief telling me this was the only way I would be able to maintain relationships. As I have grown older, I realized that the right people will eventually come into your life. You never have to worry about what these people think of you, and you grow so comfortable around them that you feel safe. These people whom I've been so lucky to find taught me that I did not need to dull the parts of myself that others deemed embarrassing or boring. I realized that our connection was not transactional, like so many others I had in my life. In turn, this newfound understanding helped me improve the relationships I already had and grow closer to the people around me. This change was not spurred by external forces, but rather an internal shift. For the first time, I was proud of who I was. I was proud of my opinions, my beliefs, my interests. And I'm not saying this is an easy path to follow, but it has brought immense happiness into my life that did not exist before. Robert Frost said it best, "I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Self-confidence should never be viewed as egotistical because it is a sign of emotional grit and character. You never truly know what is going on in another person's life. I learned this lesson at a very young age. While I was struggling with extensive changes in my home life, I always had people telling me, "Oh, your life is so perfect," or "I wish I could be you." This made me feel like an imposter. I put on a smile for everyone because I thought that was what was expected of me. Nobody ever knew the extent of the problems I was truly managing. And I know many others feel the same way and feel trapped like this. Whether we realize it or not, many people around us are going through very difficult times. Some are just more successful at hiding it than others. Nathaniel Hawthorne explains, "No man, for any considerable period, can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude, without finally becoming bewildered as to which may be the true." More stress should be put on finding yourself, rather than maintaining your reputation. Society has coined challenges as flaws or baggage, when in reality, they are signs of perseverance. They are a roadmap of our growth and should never be looked upon with shame or disgust. The characteristics that make us flawed cannot continue to hold people back. Flaws should not be locked away. They should be put on display for everyone to see. This action takes a great deal of courage, but it grants freedom and relieves a burden that many of us have carried for so long. Once I was able to wear my heart and my flaws on my sleeve, I found an entirely new perspective on what I was able to accomplish. Marie Curie, the first woman to win the Nobel Prize, declared, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less." What is perceived as broken is simply not yet fully understood. And by investigating these subjects, the intimidation of imperfection is removed. This takes the overbearing weight of the pressure to always be perfect off of your shoulders. It is exhausting to maintain the illusion of perfection because it is simply unattainable. Perfection is a concept that fails to account for the fact that we all make mistakes and possess traits that make us flawed. One person's definition of perfection can be completely different from someone else's. To be the best version of yourself, you must acknowledge your shortcomings and take comfort in the fact that you are perfectly imperfect. If you feel you are the only person in the room who loves something, do not let others dictate what brings you happiness. When you try to model your life after what others deem to be perfect, you will eventually find that the way you're spending your time is not on what truly matters. Usually, those who love what they do achieve the most because their effort is not a chore, it is a choice. I believe this should be our true aim. If history is written by the victors, then oppression begins the moment you let someone else write your story or choose which pane of glass you stand behind. By accepting your flaws, you stop trying to fit into the perfect window manufactured by those around you. Instead of seeing your flaws as weaknesses, view them as cracks in the stained glass. The architects of the cathedral may try to use those cracks as leverage to break you, but when you embrace your imperfections, you fill the cracks with gold. In respecting yourself, the architects can no longer force you into a position where your truth is tainted or hidden. Acceptance acts as a theft of ammunition, and you will achieve more than you ever thought possible. We cannot change the light that shines upon the window, but we can always change the glass that catches it. Thank you.